Alix had grown up in a mansion built on his father's success. Polished marble, glittering chandeliers, and the warm laughter of a man who believed in kindness. But the day his father died, the lights of that house dimmed forever. His mother remarried too soon. Her new husband, Inzy, smiled with his teeth, not his eyes. He slid into the house like a shadow, quiet, calculating, hungry. Within months, he controlled the business, the property, the legal papers, and finally Alix's mother. Then came the night everything changed. "Alix," Inzy said coldly, tossing a small bag at his feet. "This house is not yours anymore. Leave." Alix stared at him, confused. "This is my father's home." Inzy leaned close, whispering, "It was. Now everything belongs to me." His mother stood behind Inzy, trembling, unable to speak, fear locking her lips. Alix waited for her to defend him, but she lowered her gaze, defeated by the man she had chosen. Inzy's guards dragged Alix outside. The mansion gates slammed shut. At 15 years old, Alix stood on the street with nothing but a bag of clothes and a storm burning in his chest. That night, under a cold sky, Alix swore one promise. "One day I will return, not to beg, but to reclaim everything he stole." Rising from dust years passed. Alix worked jobs no one would imagine for a billionaire's son, washing cars, serving tea, loading boxes at midnight. Every coin he earned, he saved. Every insult he swallowed, he stored like fuel. He studied in public libraries, learned business from street hustlers, marketing from YouTube videos, finance from old secondhand books, and courage from the life forced him into. Pain sharpened him, hunger hardened him, failure trained him. By 25, Alix had become something Inzy never expected, a self-made businessman with a mind sharper than any fortune he lost. His startup, built from nothing, suddenly exploded in popularity. Investors started calling. News channels began to notice. Alix didn't want fame, he wanted justice. 10 years after being kicked out, Alix walked up to the mansion gates again. This time in a black luxury car, cameras flashing, reporters whispering, "That's Alix Salim, the comeback legend." Inzy watched from the balcony, shocked. The boy he abandoned had returned as a man he should fear. Alix smiled, not sweetly, not warmly, but with the calm of someone who had already planned the final move. "Inzy," he said, stepping forward, "I'm here for everything you stole, and I will take it back, piece by piece." Inzy swallowed. For the first time in his life, he felt fear. The next morning, the business world woke up to chaos. A major news channel flashed breaking headlines. "Alix Salim buys 22% shares of Inzy Enterprises, becoming the second largest owner." Inzy almost dropped the cup of tea in his hands. His empire, his stolen empire, was under attack. He rushed to his office, boiling with anger. "How did this happen?" he barked at his board members. "Sir," one of them hesitated, "Alix bought the shares quietly over the last 2 years. We didn't notice." Inzy's face turned red. The boy he threw on the street had been planning this war even before returning. Meanwhile, in his new glass tower office, Alix watched the news with a calm expression. His assistant walked in. "Sir, Inzy tried calling you 14 times." Alix smirked. "Let him try 15. His assistant handed him a file. "This contains proof of how Inzy transferred your father's assets illegally." Alix ran his fingers along the documents. Each line was a weapon. Each signature was a step toward justice. He lifted his eyes. "Good. The real game begins now." Later that evening, Alix attended a charity gala. Inzy stormed in, ignoring everyone, heading straight toward him. "You think you can walk into my life again and take everything?" Inzy hissed, voice trembling. Alix didn't blink. "I'm not taking everything. Just what you stole." Inzy leaned closer, fury shaking his words. "You're playing with fire, boy." Alix's smile was cold. "I was born in fire. You just added fuel." Before Inzy could respond, cameras flashed. Reporters crowded around them. "Alix, are you planning a hostile takeover?" Inzy froze. Alix looked into the cameras, voice steady. "I'm planning to correct a mistake, that's all." A wave of whispers filled the room. For the first time, Inzy realized he might lose everything. The storm had been building for months. Whispers in the business world, leaks in the media, silent investigations gathering evidence piece by piece, and now everything was ready. Alix stood in the courtroom, calm as stone, holding the final file that would end Inzy forever. Reporters fought for space, cameras clicking nonstop. The judge entered. Inzy walked in with confidence, hoping his influence would save him. But when he saw Alix's cold gaze, his steps faltered. The judge looked at Alix. "Mr. Salim, please present your accusations." Alix stepped forward and placed a thick folder on the desk. "Your Honor," he said quietly, "this contains proof of how Inzy stole my father's property, how he cheated the company, how he manipulated legal documents." Inzy smirked. "Lies, all lies." Alix did not stop. "And," he continued, raising his voice just enough, "evidence that Inzy was involved in my father's death." A gasp spread across the courtroom. Inzy's face turned white, then red, then pale again. The judge's eyes widened. "This is a serious accusation." Alix nodded and stepped aside. "My mother will speak." Everyone turned. Alix's mother walked in, trembling but brave. She took a deep breath. "All these years, I was silent. I thought he would hurt my son. But today I am done fearing him." Her voice cracked but grew stronger. "Inzy threatened my husband, poisoned his medicine, and made it look like an accident." The courtroom erupted. Inzy shouted, "She's lying! She's afraid of losing the luxury I gave her." Alix slammed his palm on the table. "You gave us nothing but pain." The judge raised a hand for silence. "Order in the court." The evidence was reviewed. Witnesses were called. Medical files reopened. Inzy's secret associates confessed when confronted with the documents Alix had collected. Hours later, the judge returned. He looked directly at Inzy. "Inzy, you are sentenced to life imprisonment for conspiracy, financial fraud, and involvement in the death of Mr. Salim." A wave of relief swept over the room. Inzy screamed, "Alix, you ruined me!" Alix stepped closer, eyes steady. "No, Inzy, you ruined yourself the day you killed my father." Guards dragged Inzy away. For the first time, the monster looked small. Epilogue. Ashes to dawn. Months later. Alix stood outside the old mansion gate, the same gate that slammed behind him when he was 15. This time, it opened for him. He walked through the hall, restored with light and warmth. His mother was beside him. The mansion, once dark, now felt alive again. Servants greeted him respectfully. Business partners visited. Investors trusted him. He had rebuilt everything from dust. Alix stood in his father's old office, touched the chair, and whispered, "I did it, Father. Justice is yours." His mother placed a hand on his shoulder. "You brought us home." Alix looked out the window at the sunset, the sky on fire with orange and gold, a symbol of endings and new beginnings. The war was over. The pain was over. And the boy who was thrown out, Wawan, had returned as a man who owned everything once again.